This message is not random, and it is not something you are hearing by chance. Stay until the end because you won't regret listening to this message today. I needed to speak this to you today because there are moments in life when silence is no longer the answer. Moments when what you are carrying inside becomes heavy enough that you start questioning everything. Questioning your direction, questioning your prayers, questioning your timing, and sometimes even questioning if anything is really changing at all. Maybe that is where you are right now, a place where things still feel unresolved, where answers have not arrived yet, where you have done your part, you have tried your best, you have prayed, you have waited, and still something inside you feels like it is in between. Not where you started, but not yet where you hope to be. And in moments like this, it is easy to think that nothing is happening. It is easy to believe that delays mean denial, that silence means absence, that waiting means being forgotten, but that is not the truth. There are things happening in your life that you cannot fully see yet. There are movements taking place behind situations that still look unchanged on the surface. And there are answers that are already forming, even if they haven't reached you yet. I needed to speak this to you today because your mind has been under too much pressure. Too many thoughts, too many questions repeating in circles, and too many emotions trying to carry what was never meant to be carried alone. You may not say it out loud, but there is a weight you have been dealing with in silence. A pressure that does not always have words. Some days it shows up as tiredness, some days as overthinking, some days as quiet frustration when nothing seems to move forward, and still you continue. You wake up, you move forward, you handle what you need to handle. Even when you don't feel fully strong, you keep going anyway. And that matters more than you realize, because what you call just getting by is actually strength in disguise. But I also need you to understand something important today. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. And your life is not paused without purpose. What feels like delay is often preparation. What feels like silence is often alignment happening in ways you cannot see yet. There are things being positioned in your favor. There are situations being adjusted quietly. And there are changes already starting beneath the surface of what you can currently see. This is not the end of your story. Not even close, so do not let this moment convince you otherwise. Do not let temporary emotions define your entire future. And do not let what has not happened yet make you forget what is still possible. Stay open, stay steady, stay patient through this process, because something is closer than you think, even if it hasn't arrived yet. First of all, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications. This will help you maintain a routine with God every day. I know there were moments when you felt completely alone inside your own thoughts. Moments when you smiled around other people while carrying pressure that nobody around you could truly understand. You kept trying to stay strong while silently wondering how much longer you could continue like this. I saw every one of those moments. I saw the nights when your mind refused to rest. I saw the mornings when exhaustion was already waiting for you before the day even started. I saw the quiet disappointment. You tried so hard not to show anyone, and even through all of that, you kept moving forward. That matters more than you realize. There were times when your prayers did not sound confident. You did not have perfect words. Sometimes all you could do was whisper a few honest sentences through fear, stress, and emotional exhaustion. But I heard every single one. Never think I only listen when your faith feels strong. I also hear the prayers spoken through weakness. I hear the moments when tears interrupted your words. I hear the silence that comes when pain becomes too heavy to explain. Nothing you felt was ignored. I know the thoughts that kept you awake. I know the questions you were afraid to say out loud. I know how difficult it has been to keep hoping after facing disappointment again and again. But hear this clearly now. Your situation is not beyond my reach. What feels delayed has not been forgotten. What feels quiet is not abandoned. And what seems impossible to you is still possible for me. While you were wondering why nothing was changing, things were already beginning to move in ways you could not see yet. Certain doors were being closed for your protection. Certain situations were being redirected before they could hurt you even more. Sometimes the answer you ask for starts with a delay you do not yet understand. I know waiting has been painful. I know there were moments when you questioned whether your prayers were making any difference at all. But silence does not mean I stopped working even now. When things are shifting, even now answers are getting closer. Even now, I'm guiding your life in ways you cannot fully see yet. Do not let temporary discouragement convince you that your future has already been decided. There is still more ahead of you than you realize. There were moments when you almost gave up emotionally. Not because you stopped caring, but because you became tired of carrying the same worries day after day. You kept trying to stay hopeful while dealing with battles nobody else could fully see. I know how heavy that became for you. I know there were nights when you replayed the same thoughts over and over in your mind, searching for answers that never seemed to come. I know there were moments when fear spoke louder than faith, and uncertainty made you question what was ahead. But even during those moments, you were never alone. Every tear mattered, every silent prayer mattered, every moment you kept going, even while exhausted, mattered. You may think nobody noticed your struggle, but I noticed all of it. I saw the times when you encouraged others while secretly needing encouragement yourself. I saw the moments when you stayed quiet because explaining your pain felt impossible. I saw the pressure you carried while still trying to appear calm on the outside, and I want you to understand something clearly now. You are not carrying this future by yourself. Too often, you have tried to hold everything together with your own strength. You have tried to predict every outcome, fix every situation, and prepare for every possible disappointment before it happens. But that constant fear has been draining your peace little by little. You were never meant to live trapped in constant worry. There are things you cannot control, and that is why you must stop believing everything depends entirely on you. Some doors will open because I open them. Some situations will change because I touch them. Some burdens will finally leave because their season in your life is ending. Do not confuse delay with rejection. There are moments when timing matters more than you understand right now. What you thought was being denied was often being protected, prepared, or redirected towards something better for your future. You cannot see the full picture yet, but I can. And even now, while you're still waiting for certain answers, movement has already started. Conversations are shifting, opportunities are forming, certain obstacles are losing their power over your life. Things will not stay this way forever. This season that exhausted you will not define the rest of your life. You have spent so much time expecting disappointment that sometimes it has become difficult for you to recognize hope when it starts appearing again. After carrying emotional weight for so long, part of you learned to prepare for bad news before good news even had the chance to arrive. I know why you became guarded. Life has tested your heart in ways that left you emotionally tired. There were moments when people disappointed you, moments when plans failed, moments when you prayed for quick answers, but instead found yourself waiting longer than expected. And slowly, without realizing it, you started protecting yourself from hope because you did not want to feel hurt again. But do not allow past pain to convince you that your future will always look the same. Not every season is meant to repeat the last one. There are things ahead of you that will not carry the same disappointment, confusion, or heaviness that you experienced before. But if your heart remains trapped in old fear, you may struggle to recognize the new things beginning to enter your life. That is why you must stop speaking defeat over yourself. Stop believing that nothing will ever change. Stop believing that every closed door means failure. Stop believing that your best days are already behind you. Those thoughts have been stealing your peace for too long. You do not need to have every answer today in order to keep moving forward. You do not need to understand every delay before trusting that things are still being aligned in your favor. Some answers take time because your life is connected to timing. You cannot fully see Yet there are people being moved. There are situations changing. There are things being prepared quietly that will make sense later. Even now, while you are still questioning certain things, progress is already happening beneath the surface. I know you have become tired of waiting. I know there were moments when frustration almost convinced you to stop praying about certain situations completely. But do not give up now, simply because the answer has not arrived yet. Some of the biggest changes begin quietly before they become visible. What you are asking for is not forgotten. And when the right moment arrives, you will understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. There are things you have been carrying emotionally for a long time without fully talking about them. Certain worries stayed hidden inside you because you felt like nobody would truly understand what was happening in your heart. But I understand. I know the moments when fear quietly entered your thoughts and made the future feel uncertain. I know the pressure you felt while trying to keep everything together. I know the emotional exhaustion that came from constantly thinking about problems you did not know how to solve. You tried to stay strong for everyone else while secretly feeling drained yourself. And sometimes, the hardest battles were the invisible ones. The battle to stay hopeful, the battle to keep believing things could improve, the battle to continue praying when answers seemed delayed. Those struggles were real, and none of them went unnoticed. You may have questioned your own strength recently. You may have wondered why life became so heavy all at once. But do not mistake this difficult season as proof that your future is falling apart. Not everything painful means everything is ruined. Some seasons reveal what needs healing. Some seasons expose what has been exhausting your spirit for too long. Some seasons force changes that would never happen if life remained comfortable. And even now, in ways you cannot fully see yet, things are beginning to shift. There are habits losing their control over you. There are fears slowly losing their power. There are doors closing that were never meant to carry you into your next season. You are not stuck forever. Even if progress feels slow, movement is still happening. Do not compare your timeline to other people around you. Everyone's path looks different. Some people show visible progress quickly, while other changes happen deeply and quietly before they appear on the outside. Your story is still unfolding, and there are moments ahead that will remind you why you needed to keep going through this difficult season. Instead of giving up in the middle of it, you are closer to breakthrough than you think. So breathe. Slow down your anxious thoughts. Stop assuming the worst before things even happen. The future in front of you is not as hopeless as fear has been trying to convince you. Better days are still possible. Recently, your mind has been carrying too many questions at once. Questions about your future, questions about situations that still have not changed, questions about whether certain prayers will finally receive an answer, and little by little, those questions have been exhausting your peace. You keep trying to understand everything before it happens. You keep searching for certainty before taking the next step. But not every answer will arrive early. Some things become clear only after you continue moving forward. That is why you must stop letting fear control your thoughts. Fear has a way of making small problems look permanent. It keeps reminding you of past disappointments and tries to convince you that nothing good can happen anymore. It fills your mind with worst-case scenarios before the future even arrives. But fear does not speak with truth. Just because something has been difficult does not mean it will stay difficult forever. There are situations in your life that are already beginning to change, even if you cannot fully see the results yet. Certain delays are ending. Certain burdens are becoming lighter. Certain opportunities are getting closer than you realize. Do not lose hope during the middle of the process. I know waiting has been frustrating for you. I know there were moments when discouragement almost made you stop believing anything would improve. But your current emotions do not determine your final outcome. There is still movement happening behind the scenes. While you were worrying, things were still being arranged. While you were doubting, doors were still being prepared. While you were feeling weak, Strength was still being built inside you little by little. You are not as abandoned as your thoughts sometimes make you feel, and you do not need to carry tomorrow's problems before tomorrow even arrives. Focus on today. Focus on staying steady. Focus on protecting your peace from unnecessary fear and overthinking. Some things will make sense later. Some answers will arrive at the right time instead of your preferred time. And some delays will eventually reveal themselves as protection instead of punishment. Keep trusting even when you cannot see the full picture. Yet this season will not last forever. There have been moments when you felt emotionally worn out from carrying the same burdens for too long. You kept hoping things would improve, but after waiting so long, disappointment started trying to convince you that nothing would ever change. I know how difficult that has been for you. Waiting can slowly drain confidence. It can make you question yourself. It can make you wonder if your prayers are still being heard or if your efforts are even making a difference anymore. But do not allow temporary frustration to become permanent. Hopelessness, what you cannot see right now, is that certain things are already shifting around you. Not every change arrives loudly. Some of the most important changes begin quietly, little by little, before they finally become visible. A new opportunity can begin with one unexpected conversation. New season can begin with one small decision. A breakthrough can begin at the exact moment you almost gave up believing it was possible. That is why you must stay attentive. Do not become so focused on past disappointment that you miss the new things starting to appear in front of you. Fear has been trying to keep your attention trapped in what went wrong before. But your future is not required to repeat your past. There are still good things ahead of you. There are still prayers waiting to be answered. There are still doors waiting to open. There are still moments of peace, healing, and restoration that have not entered your life yet. You are not too late. Sometimes you look at your life and feel behind compared to others around you. You wonder if you missed your opportunity, if you waited too long, or if things will never come together the way you hoped. But your timing is not ruined. Do not rush your life trying to force answers before the right moment arrives. Some things need preparation first. Some situations require growth before the next step can safely happen. And even in this season, growth has been happening inside you. You are stronger than you were before. You are wiser than you were before, and you are learning how to keep moving forward even during uncertainty. That growth matters. There are days when exhaustion speaks louder than hope. Days when your mind becomes tired from thinking about the same problems again and again. Days when it feels easier to expect disappointment than to believe something good can still happen. I know those moments have been real for you. Sometimes the pressure did not come from one big problem, but from many small things building up over time. Stress, uncertainty, emotional pain, unanswered questions, financial pressure, loneliness, disappointment. Little by little it became heavy, and there were moments when you carried all of it silently. People around you may not have realized how much was happening inside you. They saw you continuing with your responsibilities. They saw you trying to stay calm, but they did not always see the emotional weight you carried. Privately, I saw it all. I saw the moments when you felt mentally exhausted. I saw the moments when anxiety tried to steal your peace. I saw the moments when you questioned whether things would ever become easier. But listen carefully now. This difficult season is not permanent. What feels heavy today will not stay heavy forever. What feels confusing today will not always remain unclear. And what feels delayed today is still capable of changing. Suddenly, your life can shift faster than you think. One opportunity can change your direction. One phone call can open a new door. One unexpected moment can begin turning things around. That is why you cannot allow discouragement to completely take over your heart. You have already survived seasons you once thought would break you. There were moments in your past when you believed you would never recover emotionally, yet somehow you kept going. Strength continued growing inside you even when you felt weak, and that same strength is still with you now. Do not speak hopelessness over your future. Even if things are not where you want them to be yet, your story is still moving forward. There are chapters ahead of you that have not been written yet. There are blessings, opportunities, healing, and peace that have not fully entered your life yet. So do not give up during the middle of the journey. Some of the answers you have been waiting for are closer than you realize. There is something important you need to understand in this moment. Not everything that looks like delay is actually delay, and not everything that feels like nothing is happening means that nothing is happening. Sometimes the most important changes begin in ways that are not visible at first. Behind what you can see, things can already be moving. Situations can already be shifting. Paths can already be forming. Even when your circumstances still look the same on the surface, deeper changes can already be taking place. That is why you must not lose hope too early. Your emotions will often try to interpret silence as emptiness. They will try to convince you that because you cannot see progress yet, nothing is working. But silence is not the full story. There are moments when preparation happens before manifestation. There are moments when alignment happens before arrival. And there are moments when protection happens before breakthrough. You are not forgotten in this process. Even the things that felt unfair, even the things that disappointed you, even the things that did not make sense at the time, they have not been wasted. Some of those experiences shaped you, some redirected you, some protected you from paths you were not meant to stay on, and now new directions are forming. Do not underestimate the quiet changes happening in your life right now. Something can shift suddenly after a long period of stillness. What felt stuck can begin to move. What felt closed can begin to open. What felt far can become closer than you expected. But you need patience for this part of the process. Not everything arrives on your timeline. Some answers come when your heart is ready to handle them. Some doors open when the timing is right, not when the pressure is high. So instead of giving in to frustration, choose to stay steady. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. And you are not behind. You are in a process that is still unfolding, and what is coming next may be stronger than what you expected. Now, at the end of this message, it is important that you listen with calmness. You have been carrying a lot for a long time, more than most people around you realize. And even when you felt like giving up inside, you still continued. You still moved forward. You still tried one more time, even when your strength felt low. That alone shows how much you have endured. But now, you need to stop believing that you are alone in this process. You were never meant to face everything by yourself. You were never meant to carry every answer, every solution, and every outcome on your own shoulders. There are things happening in your life right now that are beyond what you can control, and that is not something to fear. It is something to release. Some of the pressure you feel is not meant to stay with you. Some of the weight you have been carrying is ready to be removed. But you need to stop holding on so tightly to fear and uncertainty. Your next steps will not look like your past steps. There is movement ahead of you. There are doors that will open at the right time. There are answers that will arrive in ways you did not expect. And there are changes that will remind you that this season was not the end, but a transition. Do not give up now. Not when you are closer than you think, not when things are already starting to shift, not when your story still has new chapters ahead. Keep going, even if slowly. Keep trusting, even if you do not fully understand. Keep moving, even if it is one small step at a time. Before you go, if this message spoke to you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This helps you receive more messages like this and stay connected with words of hope and strength. And now, at the end of this message, if you have made it all the way here, write in the comments, "God gives me strength for everything I face, so I can know you were here."